topics such as intellectual property, social media issues, recruiting and negotiations, an outlook for Nevada sports law, and advice for breaking into the sports law industry. My name is Christian Spalding. I'm a first-year law student here at Boyd School of Law. Today our panelists include Bob Caldwell, who's a shareholder at Colasar and Latham here in town, Caleb J. at the end, who is the Associate General Counsel for the Arizona Diamondbacks, Michael Mersch, right here in the middle, the Senior Vice President for Business and Legal Affairs for the UFC, and Eric Tolliver, the Senior Associate Athletics Director for the Administration and Compliance here at UNLV. Before we get started, we'll take a few moments and allow the panelists to introduce themselves. Their complete bios can be found in the handouts that you guys received. Bob?
All right, hi, I'm Bob Caldwell. I'm a partner at Colasar and Latham. I've got a couple of my colleagues over here at Colasar as well, and I've been in town for almost 15 years now. I used to practice in Louisville, Kentucky, and moved out here kind of at the start of the millennium. So it's been great being out here in Las Vegas, and I've had a chance to represent some very fun sports clients. We'll talk about that a little bit as we get into it today. But like many Las Vegas sports lawyers, it's difficult to have a practice that's 100% sports law unless you're in-house like Mike is. And so I do a lot of business litigation. I do a lot of contract litigation and sports law. I wish it could be 100% of my practice, but until we get a major league team over here, we'll have to be happy with it being a significant portion of my practice. I'm excited to be here with all of you today. I look forward to having your questions, and once we're all done, if any of you guys want to stick around and ask more questions, we'll stay around until everybody's got their questions answered. So thanks for being here.
Hi, my name is Michael Mersch. I am the Senior Vice President of Athlete Relations, Business and Legal Affairs, and the Chief Lobbyist for the UFC. In my former life prior to the UFC, I used to be the attorney for the Nevada State Athletic Commission. Was in that role for about 8 years, and so most of my observations on sports issues comes from sort of more of a fighting world, boxing, MMA, kickboxing, things of that nature. UFC, we like to consider ourselves sort of Las Vegas's home team, since, as Bob mentioned, we really don't have any professional sports here yet, which I'm still hopeful one day that'll change. But and I just want to say this: it's an honor to be on this panel with the distinguished guests here. I've had a chance to have known Caleb for a long time, and I call him up to talk about baseball, and he calls me up to talk about MMA, and so it's we've been good friends for a long time. So it's an honor to be here and to be part of the panel here at UNLV and to work with the Sports Lawyers Association.
My name is Eric Tolliver, the Senior Associate Athletic Director. I should be completing year 23 when I get out of the July era. So I've been here for a couple decades, and I've been through 5 presidents, 6 athletic directors, on my 6th now, and I kind of have the perspective where, you know, the legal side and policy procedures all kind of clash together with the, call it the dark side, the NCAA, and you get a chance to check the ever-revolving legislative process and apply it to student athlete and coaches and contracts and property, etc. So thanks for having me today. You know, hopefully everyone here is kind of associated with this institution, so you know that's why I kind of wanted to do it, to give back. So thanks for having me.
All right, I'm Caleb J. I'm the Associate General Counsel and Senior Director of Legal Affairs for the Arizona Diamondbacks. My first job in sports, I was a ball boy for the Golden State Warriors. Back in high school, I was a bat boy for the Oakland A's. I worked in the clubhouse for 8 years, all through college and law school. I interned with the legal department with the A's while also working in the clubhouse. And when I passed the bar in California, they offered me a full-time job right out of school. So it wasn't a bad gig. I went from doing their laundry and getting girls' phone numbers in the stands 1 year to writing the contracts the next. So it was a nice transition. I was an associate or assistant general counsel for the A's for 3 years. So that put me at 11 years altogether with the franchise. I decided to be a real lawyer at a law firm in San Francisco, practiced corporate law for about 1.5 years, and realized my passion was being a baseball lawyer. So fortunately, in 2007, the Arizona Diamondbacks hired me, and I've been there since. And I also teach sports law as an adjunct professor at Arizona State University.
Great, thank you all. So today our first topic is going to focus on the intellectual property matters in sports law. Sports law is a field in which intellectual property is very widespread. Patents encourage technological advancements in equipment. Copyright protects works of authorship and broadcast, and trademarks protect the brands and logos of teams, leagues, and events. To get started, we'll first look at the trademarks, establishing them and protecting them, the name and image of a company. Mike, the UFC has certainly established a strong brand recognition in both the mixed martial arts industry and worldwide. Take us through the process of establishing